revision of the statutes of ESN International that is happening right now. I also looked into the GDPR compliance and practices of ESN Belgium and the sections, and it's very terrible. In terms of meetings, we have the BNPII meetings, the one with the CT, the web quality assurance, and all the other ones. And with partnership, we have AME, so I'm not doing much. The only thing I'm dealing with is OLS, because they only want to deal with the president, so that's mainly why it's me. And I, looked at potential contracts.
Jesus.
Okay. I think next is Geel. The one for the
Hi, I'm Geel, Vice President of ESN Belgium. Still don't like to present myself at these things. Still living and working in Ghent, always busy working, has been a busy period. And yeah, last BNPII I said I just returned from London, or I was leaving to. It happened again. Oops. Thank you. Yeah, I tried to structure my board updates, but I'm gonna classify it as legal adventures for the bank and the visa tweetings. Well, I send a lot of mails to everyone, to all the sections about the buddy section system, the IEG alternative, section care related things, stalked you all with the section reports to complete it. In general, section care is, I think, catching most of my time, helping a little bit with the conference of BVS. Restructuration took a lot of time for everyone. And events, I went to the GA. I'm not going to pronounce the city, that will fail. And SMP in the meantime, and then had a bunch of calls and meetings so that you can read, but I won't go over them.
Alright, hi everyone. So my name is Margot and I am the national representative of ESN Belgium. I am 23 years old and I graduated last year from a bachelor degree in law in Brussels. And I am currently doing a master's degree in European Studies at Maastricht University. So I am currently living in Maastricht. I did my Erasmus in Padova in Italy. I am originally from ESN ULB Brussels and also ESN Saint Louis. I do dance and athletics, and I'm also a huge football fan from USG. I am a pub quiz expert. I recently won with my team in Maastricht pub quiz. I am a Beryl and Duolingo addict, and I am of course a dog person. Yeah. So for my test, I am working a lot on the EGM preparation along with Jessy. I worked also for the preparation of this BNP. I am also starting slowly to prepare the GA in Prague. And I did work with EFEC as well as some Brussels section in order to include the students from EFEC more in ESN Welcomes Week. Thank you again to the sections of Brussels who were there. For my meetings, I listed them all there. I'm not gonna go one by one, but that's pretty much it. And also, I survived my thesis and my exam. I attended GA Wrocław with Noah and Fien, as well as ESN the Netherlands NP in Amsterdam with Cam, and I was as well an international guest to ESN France NP in Paris a few weeks ago. And always running after time, that's very typical of me. And I think that's it.
Hello again, I'm Adelina. I'm your treasurer. I'm from Romania. I'm 24 years old as of December. My baby section is ESN Valanov. I finally got a somewhat full-time. It's still part-time, but almost full-time hours, so I'm really happy. I had my first team football for my birthday, and my boyfriend paid for it, which was very nice. I also unlocked a new DLC when I turned 24. I have frequent back pain now, which is not nice. I've officially graduated, so I have a diploma now. I'm extremely busy, but at least I'm not losing my mind anymore, so that's very fun. Okay, as for my board updates, it was a very busy period. I don't want to see Excel anymore. I made a lot of invoices and I stalked you all with a lot of emails. Yeah, I was working on the budget updates, task description like everyone else, bookkeeping, and figuring out Peppol. That's not exciting. BNPII prep, bank account management as always, reimbursements, payments. I'm also working on some templates for BFC, so that you're gonna see in the media colleague. I did some ESN card orders and the main autumn order. Like we said, please pick them up during the break. I don't want to take them back home with me. Meetings, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but that's it. And for extra, I went to Grants Lab. It was very nice. I'm working on team building with Jessy, doing grants research with Cam. I'm also doing a facilitation crash course from Educate. That's really interesting. And fist fighting Belfius, like the rest of the board. Okay, thank you.
Hello again.
It doesn't click. It doesn't click.
But it clicks when Glen is on the thing.
Okay, so I am 24 for one more week. I am doing my second master in law at ULB, still working at Nipolis. I gave up crocheting, which I already started, so I still love books. I renewed my last year's New Year resolutions because I still haven't started them. I lived through another year of Avatar coming out at the same time as I had my exams, and I survived but barely. And I have now a very perfect nephew that is very cute. Update. So I deposited the documents of the Belgian monitor that Noah did almost all the work for, but I drove in Brussels for that. I did the minutes of the MBNC calls, BNPII prep, so helping the OC, but then I really didn't need my help. Registration, city call minutes, etc. Minutes of BNP rules, which took forever, will be traumatized now. Minutes of SNP2 online, amendments for BNP2, the restructuration of the national level like everyone. I started working on my knowledge transfer, and then emails, meetings, like everyone you can see, and then other EGM prep with Margot, organization of our second team building. I went to the national trip to Lille, and I went with Margot to do the ESN presentation at EFEC.
Okay, I am the communication manager for ESN Belgium. Quite happy to say that I'm almost done with my PhD, so probably by the next BNP you can call me a doctor. I'm originally from ESN Leuven. In my 5th year in ESN, and every year I say it's my last, but it's never my last. From the last BNP I've been surviving on coffee and deadlines, and it's more than ever now because I need to finish quickly. I got to travel home to India after 3.5 years, so that was quite a good trip. Had a good souvenir from there as well. I fell from my motorbike and had a nerve injury. I also had a scary flight experience this time. For the first time in my life, after taking so many flights, my flight missed the landing approach, and it had to take off again without landing and then take another approach to the landing. But I fulfilled a lot of my food cravings that I have been craving for the last 3.5 years. Also a bonus point, especially for the people in Leuven, I'm a huge drum and bass fan. So we are going to a drum and bass next week, so that's going to be amazing. Okay, so for my updates, I don't know which way I should go. Down. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, both updates, BNPII preparations, presentations, which you're going to see later today, social media posts with partners and event updates that you see, King's Day or the Prague trip. The national event promotion package, of course, event compliance checks to look for your banners if they are compliant with the VIM. The ESN flag order, collected from me afterwards, those who have ordered. The NBNC hoodies that I'm wearing, this one, And those who are going to EGM, you'll get more information on the EGM hoodie design soon. You can vote on, and the VBS conference preparation, which will also be during this week, where I will shoot some videos with you all. Meetings, ESN and VBS calls, especially for the communication part, the comms community call with the ESN International and other NOs, the NBNC calls, one-on-one call with Sankara, and some specific calls with the comms manager only from other NOs. That's my update. If you don't follow ESN Belgium, you can scan this and follow ESN Belgium, so that's a little promotion. All right, who's next? Cam.
Hello, I'm Cam. I'm an education officer. I'm 25. I had my birthday last month as well. I'm from New York, and I've been living in Belgium since 2019. I first came here as an exchange student and then just stayed. I studied political science and sociology, but I've graduated now, and I am very much looking for a job. And yeah, I went on Erasmus in Rome and in Copenhagen. And yeah, while I apply for jobs, I'm also doing cat sitting. I love cats, and I'm trying to learn Dutch. And yeah, my section is ESN Belgium, and I've been in ESN for 3 years, and my hobbies include crochet, sewing, reading, various crafts. I went back to the US to spend the holidays with my family. It was my first time spending Thanksgiving in the US and Christmas at home since I left for Belgium, so since 2018, which was really wild. And yeah, I've been going back to some ESN events, which has been really nice. Invite any of us to your events. We would love to come. And board updates. So I won't go over all of it. I've had a lot of meetings, mostly youth care meetings and international community meetings. Also started BNPII committee, so I've had a couple of committee meetings, NBNC meetings, and notably I had a meeting with Simone, president of ESN International, to align Belgium and ESN International advocacy. And then tasks and projects. I was also helping with the task description and restructuring and preparing for BNPII, proposing amendments. We impact lots of emails and announcements, and working on some mapping and research for our advocacy. And I got that access to our ESN survey data, so I've been starting to analyze and clean that. Reorganizing priorities and working on the Youth Care for Change project with VBS and reviewing some international amendments. And then I went to an event that was organized with the same grant as ours. I went also to a conference from ESN International and went to Grants Lab with Adelina. And I also went as part of the ESN International delegation to the annual meeting of Erasmus Student Alumni Association, and went to NT2 in Amsterdam with Margot. And also went to the GA of VVS to promote our conference, which you'll hear about tomorrow. And you'll also hear a little bit more in detail about what some of these updates mean during education updates if you join the Build track.
Hello everyone, I'm Sankara, the HR manager of ESN Belgium. I'm a 2001 girlie, for once not the youngest. Born and raised in the Kempen, so this region. Originally from ESN Geel, so welcome in my city, and I hope you will enjoy your time here. I'm a psychological consultant at a psychiatric hospital. Changed workplaces again, and will probably change very soon again. Still looking for a new home/apartment, but that's on hold for now. If you don't see me at work or at home, you can find me in the gym or a cozy cafe. I have 2 cats, my 2 beings, Lowen and Marley. You can see the pictures there. I'm a gigantic book lover, and I'm also writing my own book. It is a long part of time. Then for my updates, of course, we had our SMP2, no calls, working on the code of conduct with Anke. We'll hear about that later. The restructuration, just like for everyone. Recruitment preparation as well, helping Fien with section care, MBNC meetings, HR meetings, web calls, BNP preparations, emails, not writing but reading this time, and a lot of one-on-one calls with almost everyone from the team.
So hi, I'm Ame. I'm the partnerships manager, and my section where I started is in Ghent, and I still live there. I'm 24 years old, so also from 2001. I'm doing my last year of my master's in German and English linguistics and literature. Yeah, I'm running my thesis right now, and so I'm not loving it always, but I have to do it. I did my Erasmus in Mainz and last year in Berlin a second time. I love movies, vintage shopping, meeting friends, and going to fitness. Next week I'm also starting a new internship, which I'm really happy with. So, yay, excited. Perfect. I had a meeting with Yes Trips for King's Day trip, which I'll be talking about tomorrow. And I also had a meeting with Swap Feeds and renewed the contract with them, and added an extra deal to the contract, which I'll explain tomorrow during the partnership updates. Ordering goodies that you'll also receive this BNP. For new partnerships, I've been having a lot of meetings with possible partners. I'll also talk about this tomorrow. Just in general responding to partner requests that I get in my mailbox. Just exploring new options. And other than that, just preparation for BNPII and BNC meetings, BFC meetings, web call, EGM call, and an S.
Do you want to do the Slido? Sure.
So now you have a Slido if you have any questions for them regarding themselves or the updates they just did.
Also, we have a throwable mic, so we are going to try it until someone gets hurt. So we'll see how that goes.
Next slide so you can see if any questions if there were. Always. It's not working, right?
No, I have to open slide over the regular way.
What?
Anyway.
I think you're gonna have to throw far.
Okay, we have our first question.
But you have to throw very far.
Oh no, I'm not.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Can I ask? Yeah, please.
Name and section, please.
Yes, Richard is in the Netherlands. How is the Dutch LA?
Margot is in Belgium. How was the Kobo? For the people who were there. It was actually very, very nice. I enjoyed it. We discovered another way of working. A lot of similarities, but a lot of differences that also we could bring back to our NO. A lot of fun, a lot of international guests, which was very, very nice also. And memorable things from the Kobo, I guess, for you too.
Yeah, I agree with everything Marco said. Cameron, ESN Belgium, I agree with everything Marco said. It was also very nice for me personally for the first time to not be, because the only times I've been to an NP are as national board in Belgium, so it was nice to get to go and have a different experience of it. Yeah, I also gave a workshop, which was really nice. And yeah.
If you have any questions, position specific, you can always enjoy the time here and ask them here. As you know, next year we are going to need new NBNC members, so if you're interested in any of them, it might be your time to maybe ask 1 or 2 questions now. No, ESN Belgium. But yes, so if you have any questions regarding that too, or whatever you saw us doing or presenting, please ask.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If we have no more questions, we can move on to the next slide, which is going to be the...
Wait, you have to close the speakers list first.
No.
You have to propose to close the speakers list.
Do we have any further questions, or can we close the speakers list?
You are writing a question.
No.
We can propose to close the speakers after
In order to run on time, can we close the speakers list after this? No reaction, I'll take that as a yes. But you can ask some more questions after during the break.
He's writing the question.
He's serious. Oh, I need to go give him. Oh, no, she will.
Valerie, ESN ULB. What about the contract with Nomad? What are the details of the proposed contract?
I'm in ESN Belgium. I suggest we get into that tomorrow. I think I'll explain a little bit more, and I also want your input as well. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it at that for now. But you can also just come up to me in person and we can talk about it.
And as voted on the speakers list is closed now, we'll be moving on to the next part of the presentation. Which is going to be the international guest takeover, because we have some international guests. And can we have the first one coming down, which is going to be ESN the Netherlands. Can you all come down, please? France and Germany too.
Hello everyone, I am your friendly neighbor, ESN the Netherlands, and I'm here to just give a short presentation. This is me. I am Richard, I am the National Partnerships Manager, and I always like to show this picture that we made last year. That's us diving after my local board year, and I invited some volunteers. Yeah. I'm also a partnerships manager at Breeze, and for those who don't know what that is a dating app. So if you need relationship advice, I'm your guy. I'm 26 years old. I'm doing my master's in information management, and I did my exchange in Tokyo, Japan. My hobbies are motorcycling, playing chess, and scuba diving. This is my lovely board. Phoebe, our president, who Cam did a wonderful workshop with. I think you all know Jasper from the last BNP. And Sabine and I are doing an Ironman after our mandate, which is a fun detail. This is our structure. We have 7 board members and a lot of committees. This is it. And 16 sections. We are financially independent, no government funding, which is sometimes a huge pain. We are the first and to have a partnership with a theme park, Walibi. I think you might know it. It started here in Belgium. And fun fact, the first international board president was Dutch. Speaking about first, I would like to talk about this section, ESN Utrecht, which is the first section in the network, and it started in 1989. It even says like this in the history book, but that's fine.
Hello. I'm Dirk, National Treasurer of ESN Germany. Right now in Germany we have 46 sections and 3 candidate sections, plus in theory some other interested organizations to join our cause. We have, in Germany we separate in 5 different regions: East, South, East, which is mostly just Bavaria, South, West, and North, to as well have besides the national assemblies as well some local platforms where the members of the different sections of the regions come together to network and to party. We have one of our biggest national events is Spring Break. Every November we try to bring over 1,000 international students and volunteers to Berlin to a flag parade, to do some other events and partying. It's always very interesting. In our national level, I will not show the whole structure, but we have like a lot of national coordinators, regional coordinators, all the board constellation committee we recently introduced, but have not yet filled it. A permanent sharing team for the 3 NAs we have, national assemblies we have every year. And this right around, this is a picture of the national board with me as a treasurer and my lovely colleagues. We have like 2 vice presidents, Eula and Lena, and event manager Hannah, President Philip, communication manager Svenja. I'm responsible as the treasurer for the budget, for the accounting, and I have coordinators as well for partnerships and ESN cards, where I'm in frequent exchange with. And fun facts about me: I have 3 bachelor degrees, 1 in physics, 1 in computer science, 1 in education. I have a master in computer science too, and working now on a 2nd master in education. I can do the split. I also try to just, because most of the day I spend in front of the computer, to just do some other sport, like learning to juggle right now, or improving that. And as well about the split, I just try for the EGM to motivate a lot of people from the German delegation to do a split in split. Yeah. That's it.
So hello everyone, I'm Margot, I'm the former president of ESN Paris, so I'm going to introduce you to my section. So this is our different committees. We have a festivities and sports committee, culture and trade committee, communication committee, and partnership committee. And yes, and also an SBO team, which is health and well-being, this is a team that is making sure that everything is happening well for everyone and that everyone's comfortable. So some popular events that we have as a part of the facility and sports committee.
We have a lot of boat parties. This is very Parisian. We have a animal along the Seine, really cool. And the One Nation is the biggest event of ESN Paris. We have it once to twice a year, and this is like our main event in different locations, different themes depending on the semesters. Café des Langues, this is not really a cafe, but more like a bar thing that is happening every Monday, and that is uniting literally all the international people that are in Paris, and this is really, really huge. And, well, a lot of different international parties. And as a part of the Culture and Trips committee, we have a lot of different events like Paris City Tours, depending on the districts, because it's a very huge city, so we need to make them like side by side. A lot of different museums, because Paris is very culturally rich, and book tours on the Seine, different trips to different parts of France, and French dinners. Voilà.
So, hi everyone, my name is Moussa. I'm the Vice President of ESN France. I'm 25 years old. I was born in Italy, but I completed my bachelor degree in law in Strasbourg, so I come from ESN Strasbourg. And now I just finished my master's degree in international and European business law. So now I'm working, let's say, in Brussels, in competition law, and I've done my Erasmus in Bucharest, Romania. No. So my ESN career, like very briefly, I started in 2021 in ESN Strasbourg during COVID. It was nice, but yeah. I was local representative and administrator of ESN Strasbourg for 2 mandates, after a board supporter of the network in ESN France. In 2023-24, administrator of ESN France, and last year the national representative and the last one. So, and now the vice president of ESN France. So I come from ESN Strasbourg, some words about my section. They joined ESN in 2010. We have 15 active members usually each year. They welcome more than 7,700 Erasmus students and international students. And they organized more than 90 events each year. So, like very quickly, this is our national structure, operational structure. So we have like the board in pink, the president, we have all the board supporters, so all on green, and the city, a permanent city down. And the other side we have like a permanent team, so they are basically work for ESN France. So they are in orange, and with an audit commission just down with another blue. So this one is the national board of 2025-2026. So there's Enzo, our president, Lucie, our secretary, Alexandre, Elena, Erwan, Baptiste, Emma, and you have their position down. ESN French network. So we are now 33 sections. We have 5 regions, and we have like more than 1,500 ESNers, and we welcome more than 25,000 and even more international students each year. We work also on a lot of European projects, so we have like some permanent teams, so we can do it like very usually. So we work. This is our like the top of projects. The first one, it's Green It Up. It's about like green mobility. The second one, it boosts your international mobility about skills, the skills that you earn in your mobility. Erasmus in schools, maybe you have, you know it or not. The body system and the sound of mobility, it's a podcast that you can listen to about international mobility in the scanning the QR code. Thank you. If you want to follow ESN France, there is a QR code.
Hello everyone, I'm from ESN Lille, so let's go. Who are we? We're in the network of ESN France. ESN France since 2011. Lille is considered like the capital of the north region of France, and it's actually between three big capitals, Paris, London, and of course Brussels. We are actually the northernmost section of France, dare I say, on top of the map and on top of the other section. We are currently around 50 volunteers with 8 board members. This is our mascot. His name is Chinix. It's the volunteers' baby and the students' favorite members. It's a smile cloud. If you visited Lille a long time ago, it was maybe a fries, but the fries, as you can see, got tired, very. So we decided to change it for a new cloud. And in the north of France, we have a saying that, okay, it's not very sunny in the north of France, but that's because we have the sun in the heart. So this is why we choose a cloud. What do we do? We are a very active team. We organize parties, sports, and cultural events. We are mostly known in our city for our famous Tuesday meeting each week, which is like each week we go to a different bar or a different part of the city, and we help the students discover different, not only the city center of the cities, but all of different parts of the cities. And recently, we also welcome some of the ESN Belgium volunteers in our beautiful cities for a weekend, and we loved it. It was great. We really loved having you with us. Who am I? My name is Roman. I'm 20 years old, and in Lille, I'm a cultural manager. I actually I'm in cultural studies. I'm in a major. I'm not from Lille, I'm from Dunkirk, which is also a city in the north of France. Maybe you know it. It's famous for its carnival, which is a costume that I'm taking tomorrow for the team. And that's it. If you want to talk to me about anything culture related, I'm gladly will open the conversation. Thank you.
And I'll be the last one. I'll be very, very quick. In addition to being from Paris, I'm also here on behalf of the Network Committee, which is one of the international support structures. So I might do some recruitment, as I already started yesterday. So who are we? We are one of the 5 committees in the ESN International that pretty much supports the international board because it's very hard. And our committee focuses more on the HR, human resources, knowledge management, transfer and everything. So kind of like a VP assisting, and we try to provide resources and knowledge as much as we can in the network. This is what the structure looks like. So we have Vice President for Governance, which is Kandika. The VPG works directly with 3 people, Vice Chair for Development, the main chair, Vice Chair for Network Engagement, so it's pretty much like 2 Vice Presidents and 1 President, and then each of them have a team under them, and I'm representing the content team, which is the 3rd one. And then we manage members or alumni or everything, and pretty much anyone can join. You can just be on the local or the national level. It's only about good vibes and providing for the network. And I'll go very quickly over the different teams that we have. So some of you may know her because she's in your NO. That's Tiffany. She is currently the Wiki team coordinator, which means she manages the ESN Wiki, which is an actual website. For some of you that don't know, we have an actual website that pretty much has everything to know on it, so she takes care of that. Then we have Paul, who's half in your NO and half in Germany as well, who's the current network analysis coordinator. So to simplify it, he pretty much takes care about the national and section questionnaires as well as the ESN survey reports. Then we have Theo, who is the awards team coordinator. So some of you might have received by email about ESN awards and presenting your projects or events and trying to win prizes in EGM, so big thing. And then you have Kiki, who's the spotlight team coordinator. So Similar to the local section that will win tomorrow the spotlight with the best costume, once a month we elect a section that best represents the practices and knowledge of the network. And lastly, we have my team, which is the content team, and it's pretty much updating and creating content for the network, and that's pretty much it. So I don't do communication, I do knowledge, just for information. One of our most notable work that we keep updating is the ESN dictionary, because yes, in addition to having a wiki, we also have a dictionary, so go look it up, it's quite fun. And then some other documents is section guides, an ESN newbie guide, which is if you just join ESN, you don't know what ESN is, within a day you can know ESN inside out. We also have section corporations, HR, everything. One guide that we recently posted was the how to navigate the wiki guides, as well as the one section annual guide, and many others, but then again, everything is on the wiki. And that's pretty much it from my side, so if you have any questions, feel free to come talk to me. Thank you. I'll give now the mic to the OC.
Okay, still, good morning. You might be a little sleepy, that's why we prepared a nice coffee break for you. Just some practical things. In this school, if a room number starts with a 1, it's on the ground floor. The basement is 0, and then you have 100, and 200 is the first floor. We have a big toilet if you go out and you follow the signs to the big toilet. And the coffee break is when you exit the plenary, you go just straight and you walk into the coffee break area. Okay, so I guess the toilet and the coffee break is the most important thing for now. And we just wanted to clarify that we do have a safety team, so if anything bothers you, you can come to the OC or the safety team regarding to what feels best for you. Benjamin has like the yellow bracelet to get attention for people who need Sankaratu. Okay.
Everyone from the city.
So if you feel unsafe or just bad, you can go to them. If there's anything else, you can also come to the OC. We're here to help. Okay. I think that's the most important part. Let's have a coffee break.
Wait guys, can you please be back seated and quiet by 10:59? Thank you very much.
Okay, follow me.
Yesterday when I talked to people, I was also the Dutch too, so like I don't know some speaks a bit Dutch. I think I would sign, I would pay whatever.
I really wanted.
I don't want to argue about it.
But we have Calvin Harris though.
We have Calvin Harris. We have
Nicky Romero and all the big guys. Dimitri Vegas. But as opposed to last year or the year before, we don't have as much DNB as expected.
No, yeah. But we do have Netsky and I don't know.
Do you have this account? I have something called
we lost one video.
Yes.
Who else wants to
wherever it's
Let's not have everyone.
and you can rate it. I'm not even joking. Look, you can rate it with like different stars or comments, and you can even add a picture to it. You should download it. Let's go smoke.
Okay, wait, you still, I will grab another one.
You look so sad during your presentation.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. I'm so happy I don't need to write it. Hello.
I'm on holidays. I'm going to Egypt. I'm going to Paris. I'm going to.
Ça va? Video?
Your video? Yeah, why not?
Okay, great. You go to the bar for 1 second. Yes?
Cars to boat.
Yeah.
Can we steal them to others?
No.
No?
No.
Because is it?
They're very important.
I heard it was like the mascot.
No.
No.
Yeah.
What do I have to do?
Go with the bar now.
I know.
go wake up, write your name on it so you can use it for the whole day. And recycling went well. If you don't know what EMD plastics and papers are and how we sort them in Belgium, look it up. But you did great. Good luck.
Okay, so we are going to move on to the next topic. I hope you're ready. We are going to talk about restructuration. The slides is not up. But please pay attention and ask questions. This might be our biggest topic of the year, unless Adelina tries to pull up a Jeremy, but let's hope not. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to turn on. Is there anyone from OC that maybe can help? Perfect, thank you.
Do you know how it works?
Oh, I wish I did. I'm going to see if someone else can help.
We can stop clicking, maybe
It's not going to help if
yeah.
you keep clicking. It's already flashing, you know. No. How do you function in this case? I'm also
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
Okay, it's turning. It's already done. Oops, we have something. That's the light.
Or do you like to be in the dark? Why
more.
are we whispering like? Okay, you good?
Okay.
No, it's on. You just need the right input. But maybe it just needs a little more.
It's nearly on here.
Zo raar, dat straks heeft alles gewoon gewerkt.
Stik alles nog in zoals voordien. Did you change anything here? No, not anymore. They have codes but nothing working.
What did you change?
I don't think anything was changed.
I just switched it off, that's it. don't have.
Can you try to plug in your computer, Glen, and we don't use that maybe?
Wait, the thing is, it's routed into the.
In the beginning, we did the exact same thing. We connected his computer and we started. Did you change anything here?
Nope, I just switched it on. That's it.
But it's now it's the only problem is the source. We need to select the right source, but
did you try turning it on and off?
Off and on.
I did already, but yeah. Show each powered off and then go on.
Yeah, why not? Yes, why not? Stats on the machine net. Don't look in the protect.
Tu les as volés?
That's the input, so we just need to change that.
Oh.
But how did we change it?
Oui, oui, bien sûr. À d'autres, à d'autres.
That's the light. Let's not put us too much into the light. Like that is good. I have no clue.
Cosmo chose qui se passe. C'est Cosmo chose qui se passe.
Laptop, so that's supposed to be good. Can you unplug and plug it again, your laptop or whatever? And let's hope it's... So it's plugging into that, but that is not plugging into... We see it here.
Because this thing works.
That's weird. We have buttons here, maybe. I think that's this button. This one. This basic. No, it's gonna be this display. And if we try to unplug it here and plug it again?
Yes, it is.
I don't think it will do much, to be honest.
Try, but I think it's screwed.
Pourquoi je viens de répondre maintenant, toi? Oh, mais c'est à 3 heures.
Oh. Why is it out again?
Mais du coup, ça veut dire que je dois te répondre maintenant. Ouais.
Jessy discussed BNPII to find someone in a picture. Section 4 gets flagged, mask is stolen, BNC talks more than 10 allocated, loading the stolen, the section is late to plenary, someone collected the BNP starting too early, alumni spotted, someone lies about retiring from ESN, and annexes
Okay.
Yeah,
So we end up breaking it. Can I try something, Glen? Oh damn, it's late. But that's not gonna do anything because Do you have an HDMI cable with you?
I have an HDMI port.
Yeah, but no, I was trying to plug your computer directly into that.
I don't have the cable with me.
Ah, okay.
But
oh, maybe if you do the HDMI right away.
it's not gonna do anything.
Like,
it's literally just gonna.
Yeah, but let's try and see.
You saw it?
No, he made a gif out of it.
Okay. I hope it doesn't get censored. Otherwise. Is there a topic you can do without screen? Any topic?
No. I don't think so.
Not later in the agenda. Who's going through your slides?
No, because after we have the 2 tracks, so we cannot switch anything from the 2 tracks. Every time it turns on, I'm like,
yeah, it's gonna work. Yeah, I can look for another screen somewhere, but yeah.
And don't they have
It's gonna take longer now.
Did you check if all the cables under the table are fine?
But it would be very weird if anything changed underneath the cable.
Can we have access to the controller maybe?
do we have the pin? Because maybe that's because we turned it off and now we're not plugged in.
Especially if we weren't plugged in before we always used guest.
That's easy. Let's go.
This looks amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's already downloaded.
Yeah, someone is coming from the IT. Good luck keeping up with the agenda now.
Yeah.
It's okay, lots of green.
What?
It's still green.
Yeah.
You just have to talk to me.
Thanks for all the lights.
No, I changed it.
What are you doing with the IT?
Nothing.
Jeg kan typificere output, making work on that
What about
schermstuk
unplug
hierin.
everything?
Ja. We hebben eigenlijk
Was
dus hier links, hier links staan de bronnen die eigenlijk geselect kunnen worden. Dus die gestart is gezien dat we gast kunt hebben, kunnen we niet uit.
Ah, kun je verder dan dat je gast bent? Dus kun je gewoon uit een hand zetten en dan
Dus dat we die eigenlijk niet meer buiten aan.
Het je hem al uit aanzet.
Ja, meer dan dat. Ja, lol 3 keer geprobeerd.
There is someone
Ah, ik ken het niet. Oké.
Dat stuk hebben op het gastenprofiel gewoon ingeplukt en toen heeft het gewerkt, maar nu krijgen we blijkbaar een source hier blijkbaar. Ik weet niet wat jij doet. Ik weet ook niet of jij een login hebt hier, voor hierop in te loggen.
Het enige wat ik heb gedaan is die van buiten.
Ja, deze PC.
Ja, zeker.
Ik vind het gewoon raar.
No, you saw something on the screen. Because we did it.
Dat ding heb ik meegekomen.
Oh non, mais j'ai pas de réseau. Ah, David, allez, je supporte.
If you laugh, I'm sending the picture of you.
I would buy you a drink if you can pick up something really cold.
But he has socks that are split as well, eh?
Yeah.
Because he has more usable. Oh, this one's done.
No, I think it's right. Leave me alone. That's
Are you laughing at his shoes? Please tell me you're laughing at his shoes. Yes. I approve.
No, please remove one shoe so we can do this song.
I can't do anything more than this, so I'm gonna look for a screen somewhere. Worst case, we put a screen.
Play against the horse.
the other way. Let's maybe keeping on for the rest of the game. You can blame it on me. I can start asking questions to people so they get back to work.
Is this on? Parce que je peux pas te battre, tu me bats.
I don't have IT because I don't use IT.
Well, it's there now. You had time
I didn't
to.
have Wi-Fi yesterday.
You had time to fix it. I sent it a week in advance.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like.
I think I'm not that
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I think you also contributed to the conversation.
Someone in between.
I'm not sure. I don't remember, but you were there. And she stopped.
I just one day I didn't. Same, I didn't see that. You were still traveling?
Yeah, that's
I feel like I should help that now. I'm in cybersecurity, not in IT. Like super support. He's an IT.
Oh, this no one says the name. Oh, where is that
Non, mais parce que là, le temps est pas calculé, les présentations, elles sont toutes à zéro.
Ah, faut que
Donc on les change au fur et à mesure, faut pas les changer.
Oh, et ça, je change pas maintenant du coup non plus.
Look what I said after. You have to do not this one, but like right after the countdown. No, after your.
I like
Can I keep those after?
Ah, mais attends, c'est ça que je dois
I always
laisser.
do at the end of my evening.
Ça, je dois toucher. Merde. Ah, c'est là que je
Ik zie hier een HDMI-poort die eigenlijk niet bezet is.
Dat was van de
Dat is van de
Maar in deze stuurt nu wel nog signaal, maar dan de beamer niet meer. En er was niks van instelling aangepast tijdens de
Ik heb enkel de beamer uitgezet, that's it. Via dit scherm. Om stroombesparing, that's it.
En toen is het uitgevallen dan?
Sorry?
En toen is het uitgevallen dan? Want het heeft gewerkt, projecteren?
Het werkte ervoor. Het was, ik denk, om 11 uur. Hebben we 25 minuten pauze genomen.
Ja.
Het enige wat ik veranderd heb, is dat ik eigenlijk op mijn computer zelf extern van extended screen ben gegaan. Dan ben ik naar single screen gegaan, omdat er bepaalde bestanden waren die ik eigenlijk niet kon delen met het publiek.
Ja, ja.
Dan ben ik uiteindelijk terug naar extended screen gegaan. That's it. Dat wordt gedeeld op dit scherm. En dan het enige wat ik nog heb gedaan is eigenlijk het scherm via dit uitgezet. Toen, als we terug waren, hebben we dat proberen aan te zetten, maar de connectie liep mis.
Ja.
That's it.
Ja, dat is hetgeen wat ik nu ook zie, dat hier inderdaad...
Het kan natuurlijk ook gewoon een user error zijn, maar ik weet eigenlijk echt niet waar ik mis ben gegaan.
Ik denk het niet. Ik denk dat om een of andere reden dit systeem gewoon niet meer reageert zoals het zou moeten.
Want we hebben gekeken naar de uitzendpoorten, maar dat is echt... Ik heb eigenlijk gekeken naar op de
Is it changing auditorium
We hebben die initieel hier op USB-C uitgestuurd. Dat gaat eigenlijk geen verschil maken, want dat is gewoon een adapter eigenlijk. Dan hebben we die uiteindelijk hier in HDMI gestoken. Bij deze poort, dat
Het
is...
maakt wel een verschil met de USB en HDMI. Er zijn toestellen die enkel met USB-C doen en niet op de HDMI. Maar toen het presenteren nog ging, zat je toen op de USB-C naar HDMI?
Dat is een HDMI 2.1 via USB-C.
Dat was toen via USB-C.
Ja.
Normaal moet dit toestel wel
op HDMI. Eigenlijk werkt die bij u wel misschien?
Wel, dat ga ik nu zien. Normaal pakken alle BIOS deze op HDMI. Maar soms gebeuren daar updates aan. En dat heeft daar wel impact op. Dus ik ga het nu zien.
Excuses om je zaterdag zo...
Nee, daarvoor zijn we hier, hè. Internet detecteerde hij ook wel, wil ik nu. Dan ben ik heel benieuwd of dat een verschil gaat maken. En anders gaat het inderdaad als systeem zijn, dan ga ik eens proberen van de hele zaal af te sluiten en het niet op te zetten.
We have so many on the room.
I'm in cyber though, so that's something else.
Nee, geeft u nu hetzelfde als ik met een HDMI zat, denk ik. Ik zal nu eens een andere modus pakken. Nee, want dat zei ik daar net op.
Het is echt gewoon het dupliceren eigenlijk, van met schijt.
Dan gaan we eens
We hebben gedrukt op video. Video, dat is... Er komt geluid uit.
Ja, maar op een HDMI komt geluid ook mee. Hè. En het geluidssysteem zal wel nog werken, maar het zal de video zijn die het enige wat we
ja, maar de geluidinstelling staat gaat aangesloten op het scherm, op de Wacom-scherm.
Ja. En normaal toch, dit zijn ook systemen die wij niet installeren, maar die mensen zijn er helaas niet vandaag.
Dat is eigenlijk nog een externe firma, ik het gewoon wel.
Nee, dat is ook Thomas Moore, maar die mensen zijn hier nooit.
Dus jullie bent dan een externe IT of wat?
Nee, lokale IT. Maar we hebben mensen die alle AV beheren, dat is nog apart.
Is er geen manier om het hele systeem eigenlijk opnieuw op te starten of zoiets?
Daar zijn we nu mee bezig.
Ah, oké.
Dat is nog niet duidelijk.
Dat werkt aan. Oké, daar moet het licht uitging.
De IT-support heeft IT-support nodig.
Ik moet die printers altijd mijn job fixen, dat werkt niet.
Als je een printix hebt, dat echt een nachtmerrie is.
Ik denk dat printers een diploma apart zijn.
Can I use this one?
Dat is goed.
Nu, het is wel waar dat we hier inderdaad echt supporten. Ik heb al meermaals gevraagd voor handleidingen en cutsheets voor de kabels en zo, maar dat krijgen we allemaal niet dus.
Can I teach them how to
Er is geen enkele documentatie van de rascap.
Can we teach them how to dance the... How do you call it?
Yes, a Belgian dance?
Yes.
No, please don't. Don't feel
The one that it's like with like you sing of two.
The smidge.
Yes. Do you like it? Should we?
Yoga session. Let's do a yoga session.
Yoga?
Yeah, that would be great.
Will you host it?
Alles.
But I'm sure someone will.
Thoughts? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
No, I'm talking to Najee.
What?
How do you call it?
Smidge. Van deze.
Mitchell?
Het smidge.
Small button.
Die wolk?
It's a dance.
No, I don't know it.
Should we teach it?
But we need music for that.
Come, you can just keep the phone to them.
Oh.
Let's maybe not disturb too much the IT guy.
Is het voor jullie eventueel
But we'll have to dance it outside now.
Sorry?
voor jullie optie om auditorium 1 te gebruiken?
Because I don't think you
Ik
can
denk
jump.
niet dat we proberen dan echt van auditorium te veranderen. Het is gewoon
Ja,
dat we
maar if we have
alle
to
mensen eruit
change rooms, they have to
Maar ja,
pick back.
no. Nee, it's too different auditorium.
Ja.
To the second one?
Maar we gaan eerst kijken.
Okay, to the second one.
Rima went to see for Ali.
Hello.
Noah. Oh, dat is echt een grote zaal hier.
Ja, ja, ja. Maar die moet nog vernieuwd worden. De andere is net gerenoveerd. Deze komt er binnenkort aan. Er zijn meer technische problemen, maar als het werkt, dan werkt het. Glen, I think you want to plug in here, right? For whichever is your poison. USB-C. Die kan je dus toch maar bij proberen nog.
Or HDMI if it doesn't work.
No, it should.
Dank je.
Verder nog iets nodig?
Emotioneel steun. Dat is alles.
Moest er nog iets zijn, ik ben hier nog tot 12 uur. Je kunt gerust bellen naar dezelfde nummer. Dan kom ik kijken.
Kan ik het nummer eigenlijk krijgen of zal ik het gewoon via hem vragen? Dat is 10, 5, 6, 2, 3, 3, 5. Ja.
En dan maak ik nog een melding naar de collega's van AV dat ze het auditorium gaan fixen.
Ja. Is het eigenlijk een nieuw probleem nog nooit voorgekomen? Of zo?
Dit is misschien nog niet. Het is nog niet zo lang gerenoveerd.
Ja. Knowledge transfer is ook wel belangrijk inderdaad. Dat is altijd, als je in verschillende units werkt, dat is altijd dat ik iets in de communicatie misloop. Ja, ik werk zelf in IT support, dus ik weet dat zelf. Ik ken het allemaal, dus dankjewel, echt. Ik zie.
Yeah, we'll fix it. We'll get another table and 2 more chairs.
Is the stream on? Is the clicker working? Nope. You're not working.
Okay.
And this one is working as well.
Okay, good. Perfect, thank you.
It's on. The power button is the red one, but it's on now.
Okay, is everyone here? Do you all have your buddies? We can start. Perfect. Sorry for that little technical issue. But what would be a BNP without some issues? This one might be topping any other NP I went to, but that's fine. We're going to make it. We're going to try to catch up on the time. Sorry for that. But yes, let's keep moving. So talking about the restructuration about the national level of ESN. First, a little note. I also shared a document with every single one of you through the group chat. I can send it again about the different votings that are going to happen because we are going to have 3 rounds with conditional voting. So here, the voting on the restructuration document will only happen if Amendment 1, please can everyone try to keep silent and listen? Thank you. So the voting will only happen if Amendment 1 to the standing orders and Amendment 1 to the statutes is approved. Why? Because our main legal document are the statutes and standing orders. So whatever is on there prevail on anything else. So one situation, you vote Amendment 1 to the standing orders and Amendment 1 to the statutes, but you don't vote the restructuration document. It means the new positions are going to be existing and are going to be there, but they're just not going to have any tasks yet. So that might be a very poor situation. So try to think of that when you vote on both and try to vote the same thing. But thank you. And then we have 2 versions of that document, one with FBI and one with B network. So the version 1 with FBI is only going to be voted in if Amendment 4 to the standing orders is approved. Sankara. Thank you. So voting on version 1 will only happen if Amendment 4 to the standing order is not approved. So FBI is the current name that we have for that committee that we're trying to change. And we'll vote on version 2, so including B network, if Amendment 4 to the standing order is approved. If that's unclear, please ask questions. Please refer back to the document. It's very important that you understand the structure of all the conditional votings. We know it's hard. We know it might be more complicated than usual, but we wanted to give you as much room as possible to vote on different items and not vote on a whole thing while you might not agree on some parts. Okay, so the current situation as it is now, I hope you know it, but we're going to go through it quickly. So first, why are we proposing the change? Right now, our structure is not following ESN international structure, which might not seem like a lot, but for example, the NR community is completely gone. They have an informal one, but not an existing one. So we are trying to kind of match their structure, but adapt it to our network. As mentioned, NR is disappearing. There is a real imbalance in the tasks and descriptions, in the tasks and responsibilities. So we're trying to balance that a bit more. So that's the current situation. So what we're going to do in big is we want to remove the vice president and replace it by 2 presidents, the 2 vice presidents that you'll see. The training coordinator and the national event coordinator are going to be removed and merged into one. The NR is going to be removed. Part of the task is going to go to one vice president and part of the task to the other. And then the secretary is being removed and the tasks are being distributed to. So that's kind of how it looks. I hope you know it by now, so the rest is going to be clearer. So the restructuring, kind of how it looks. I know it looks very complicated to understand, but once I explain, you'll get it. So on top, you have all the positions that are going to be terminated. The little arrows are where their tasks are going to be. And those positions are the new one we are adding or we are changing stuff. So the secretary is completely disappearing. All the legal stuff are going to what we call the vice president for governance, so VPG. The BNP part of secretary is also going to VPG. And then the meetings are going to HR. So the organization and the minutes of the meetings are going to HR. For vice presidents, I divided into section care. So section care will go directly to what we will call section care coordinator. So the main role of that position will be to be there for you and help you because we realize that's a big task. And then training will go to Vice President for Development. For NR, anything GA related is going to go to Vice President for Governance, and anything international events, so Web and EGM, is going to go to Vice President for Development. And then training and events are merging into one in what we call training and activities, or training and events, I'm not sure anymore. Training and events coordinator. And they're also taking the organizational part of BNP together with the VPG, because we realize that for some sections it's really easy and we have nothing to do. For others it's a real struggle. So 2 people is better than 1. And so how you can kind of see the position. So Vice President for Development would be more anything event related, so international event and training. While Vice President for Governance is everything legally related. So the legal aspect of ESN Belgium, GAs, which are the General Assembly of ESN International, so legal, and BNPs, which are our General Assemblies. HR would take meeting. Section Care Coordinator would be the main person in charge for section care. For the section questionnaire that you, for example, all have filled in, and then for analyzing the data and drawing conclusions, and for what we call what's in your mailbox, so kind of like a little summary of everything, that all the emails you get, because we understand it can be quite overwhelming, and training and events. So that's how the new structure would look. So VPG and President would both be in charge of B-Legal. VPG and VPD would both be in charge of B-Network, or what is currently being called FBI. We are also moving the IT manager position to a board position. Why? Because board members are on the Belgian monitor, so they're more legally responsible for the organization. And the IT manager is supposed to be in charge of anything GDPR related, which is a big problem in our network. And since it's legal, we think it's better to move it there. And yeah, the rest I already explained kind of it. So we would keep, and I think it's important, the LR community, because for you having an LR is quite important, and we understand that, and we don't want to force you into changing it. So what we do is put the 2 vice presidents in it. And when it's GA related, it's going to be the VPG, and when it's international events related or whatever, it's going to be the VPE. That's kind of how it looks like. But we can come back to that, but we also normally had it. And yes, can you go to the document again?
Yep.
You're gonna have to go stand here.
I can go down with that.
Yeah.
Okay, we can stop. But you can also go with that.
Ja, maar
Nee, die muis werkt niet. Je moet zien. 2 fingers. Yes.
This is not my thing.
I'm doing it for you.
So we've marked in yellow the things that we've changed mostly. So we added a list of abbreviations to make it easier to read the document, because we know that in ESN we use a lot of ESN language. We know the language, but sometimes we forget that it's not clear to everyone, so we added this list, and I hope you all read it. We did not change much to the general responsibilities, tasks, skills, whatever's. You have the document from the current task description, so should be one you can compare. So as explained, on national boards we want to add the vice presidents for governance and development, as well as an IT manager, to swap the position to boards. It's very fun to have no one do something for me. National coordinators, so we are changing the name of education officer to education and advocacy officer to make it more covering what the position does. The section care coordinator and merging training and event. So here as well, we always try to highlight in yellow what the biggest changes to the position are. So in the present portfolio, we don't change a lot, we just specify which VP or which position something is linked to. And we added the code of conduct overseeing process with the present portfolio. Okay, VPG. So together with the VPT, we'll be the first online to replace the president, which is as well in the current portfolio the VP's task. Helps the president manage, will be responsible for the LRPR community, so that's something that shifts from the president's portfolio to the VP portfolios, and managing local representatives and being in charge of the B legal committee, and then coordinate the FBI will be removed from that one. It depends on the name, that's why it's in red. So it's a bit what Noah already explained. VPG will be focusing on legal documents, the registration of ESN Belgium, so all definitive VZW, and the insurance. So legal, everything legal. Will also oversee the code of conduct procedures and supervises and validates the MPs. So VPG will focus on the legal side, the GA side of the international updates, and voices the Belgian network at the GA. So as you know, you choose what we vote as ESN Belgium as sections, and that is what we bring there. Representing what is changing, and knowledge that we have added explicitly is a good knowledge of the statutes and standing orders of ESN Belgium. And if possible, some understanding of Belgian law, but that's something you can also learn on the go, because I did not have. Neither did Noah, and he's now the walking CSA manual. Familiarity with the code of conduct will be key, as that's one of the things you'll be covering. VPD, as mentioned, will be mostly the portfolio of NR being moved to the VPT. First in line to replace the president, so it's a lot, the basics that go together with the VPG, because they will be equal in their position. I don't know how to phrase it better. So this part is the same, and then for national events and training will be the main point of contact, alongside the training and event coordinator for the OC of national platforms, and responsible for the supervision of the TNE coordinator to organize these events. And VPD will also be publishing the national platform reports on the ESN Wiki. And one of the points of contact for the web region, but that is same, it's coming from the NR portfolio. And then international events will be mostly the non-statutory, as Web EGM are the most known ones, and bisections most favorite ones, and will automatically be delegation leader for those events. So also you would need an understanding of the international events, the bodies and the projects, and of if you have knowledge of training methods, but that's also something that you learn as you do a position, because a lot of what we do is learning on position. With Treasure, we did clarify some things to make it more as we do today. So presenting a financial reports, taking care of the payments, refunds, and administration of the Belgian network, signing partnerships potentially, but always together with President or the VPG will be the idea. And manages with the partnership and the communication manager, the gadgets merge and everything for the sections and ESN Belgium. And favorite task, managing the ESN card orders. Communication manager defines and implements the communication strategy of ESN Belgium, manages the social media accounts as well as our website, will be in charge of the newsletter and coordinate the promotion of the national events, things that you already see today, of course. But again, here we try to specify to make it more to reality. Then the favorite part of our sections that communication manager does is following up that the event is compliant with. We'll cooperate closely with the partnership manager as it's important to promote our partners, and is in charge of ordering the gadgets, but of course together with treasurer and partnership manager. and I feel like I'm rambling. Project manager. So, supports the incorporation of the causes within ESN. Coordinates national reports, is the main point of contact for external and internal stakeholders for implementing projects and the national Erasmus Games if they are organized within ESN Belgium, together with training and events coordinator and responsible for the supervision and support of the TNA coordinator. And supports MB with application of grants, which is very interesting if we can apply to those. And supervises the committee of ESN Belgium. And then IT manager, technical maintenance, security. I don't think that portfolio actually changes. We also just updated it. So responsible to update the platforms with the relevant documents. Compliance with GDPR is now in there explicitly, and monitors the data permissions and looks and proposes for new digital solutions, so we as ESN Belgium also stay up to date with things.
Okay, then the national coordinators. So we first have the education and advocacy officer. So main role is supporting the president and maintaining the contact with stakeholders and so on. Represents and promote the visibility of ESN Belgium and its mission towards external stakeholders. Developing new resources and monitor and share all educational opportunities to the volunteers. We haven't changed that position much. Yeah. The section care coordinator, which is a new one, so they would be in charge of the contact with the sections and the follow-up on inquiries by the NBNC. In charge of the section care and the stability and quality insurance. So they would have to do the one-on-one calls and so on, as Fien is doing right now with you. But that would deserve maybe a full position, because that's a lot. So they would also be looking into the expansion of the network by looking for new possible ESN sections, the guidance of new candidate sections when we have one. They would be in the HR and network community. I think that's important to mention. And they would support sections and understanding all your emails and so on. So they're kind of your go-to person if you have any problem. Partnership manager, we just changed it a bit to make it more accurate to what it is actually doing. So maintaining the relationship with the partners, keeping an active up-to-date. Ahmed did an amazing job with that, and we want to make sure that continues. Partnership contracts, new national and strategic partners. Mutual benefit deals, that's something that we are really aiming at. Looking into partnership opportunities for national event, being in the BFC community, supporting the local sections in developing your partners, which I think is very important too. And of course, they're working closely with the communication manager to design all the promotion materials and the packages that we give to you. Training and event coordinator, it's just a merge of the two. So beside managing the operational aspects of the organization of the national platforms, the rest was really taking the two positions, mixing it into one. So the training plan and event proposal is going to be through them. The open call for the organizing committee. They will be the main person in charge of the training and event with the VPG and the project manager. Organizing national event and trips. Open call for the national event team. Support the project manager with the organization of the national Erasmus Games. And then, in training, so promote the initiatives of ESN International and create the program, content, and training opportunities of all training events we might do or national platform. So yes, human resources manager, sorry. It stays mostly the same, so the team building, assessing the motivation, the satisfaction, and the needs of the volunteers within the national level. The thing we added, as mentioned, is scheduling and creating the agenda of ESN Belgium for internal meetings. It was from secretary, but it makes a lot of sense that it's going through HR. Supporting training and volunteers development activities. Supporting the section care coordinator with section care. Because for one person, it might be a lot. We have 18 sections. We love you all, but you're a lot to deal with sometimes. So having two people working on it and having a backup when there's something heavy that we can rely on is very important. And they would prepare the annual report of ESN Belgium. And that's it. We managed to keep it in time. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the clap. Yay. Okay, now question round. You can ask a question to any member of the NBNC or to us all. We all worked on the document. So, and it's a very, very important document, so please make sure that everything is clear and you have asked all your questions. No, we are supposed to have two. Raymond said we have two. Yeah, Raymond said we have. Okay, we were in with that one and we talk in that one.
I just want to remind you guys that when you speak and ask a question, please state your name and section so that Jessy can write it down. Any questions not relevant to this topic shall be disregarded. However, you can write it down and ask it to the National Board later. Thank you.
And follow-up questions are a full hand raising.
Can you put it the other way around so the new things are on top? And those ones you can, yeah. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect.
Are people writing questions or no? Yes?
Sorry, I messed up the camera.
Dries, ESN Belgium. So I have a question about the PPD and the PPG position. That the task description, some of the tasks are overlapping between the two, or they are supposed to be handled alongside each other. But how would you manage to figure out who has the responsibility for each task if, let's say, the cooperation between those two positions do not go smoothly at all?
Thank you very much for your question. Do you have any specific examples of what you're talking about in terms of?
I think what I find most concerning is, for example, that in the absence of the president, first in line is PPD and PPG, but it's not mentioned who is actually first in line. So let's say that the president is absent and the PPD and the PPG are completely not agreeing with each other. What will happen?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I'm going to answer first. So, in the legal context of ESN Belgium, just so it's clear, the president has no higher power above everyone. All board members have the same power and the same responsibilities, so most of the things go through votes. So that's the first thing. Now the only thing that can happen is mostly with ESN International, because they see the legal representative as being the president. So in the absence of the president, I think it's going to have to be discussed within the three of them. The president can delegate maybe someone, or the person that has the most time, or either they discuss it between each other. That's how I saw it when we made it. Because for me, since we have two vice presidents, it wouldn't make sense to have one that's higher than the other. And they also have two very, like one is very for the legal aspects, and one is more for everything related to training and international events. So maybe if the problem is more about contract or something, then it would make more sense that the VPG that's already working on that take above, while when it's, let's say, a problem with EGM or web, and we need a quick decision, and sometimes like it needs to be taken, then it would be the vice president for development, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Anyone else has something to
I would just add, like in general, within the NBNC, not one person makes a decision ever. We function as one team. I would not say one brain cell because that would be mean towards the others, but in the nice way that we function as one entity together to make decisions that are in the best benefit of the network.
Anybody, any other questions? Okay.
Are you sure you don't have any questions? This is a very, very important topic that's going to change everything for ESN. So please ask if you have even the minor doubt or whatever. It's important because it's going to shape the whole years ahead.
And maybe why we're also proposing it today is because the Belgian network is finally stable enough to take the next steps into improving and looking to the future, because we are a bit behind on some things. And now I think after a couple of challenging years, the NBNC feels it time to propose this restructuration. Because if we thought the network wouldn't be ready, we would not be proposing it. And Almere had a comment.
Caterina, ESN Belgium. I just wanted to say that this is what, if you voted in, this is what you're going to be applying for at BNPII. So make sure you have everything there. I mean, we're all available during breaks and everything for additional questions, but yeah, it's very important that you ask them now so you know for next year what the energy is going to be like and what you're signing up for if you're thinking about signing up for it.
Now is the best time to ask questions. You can always ask them later, but in regards with the delay we've had, it is better if you ask them now regarding this topic because it's the first of many.
Dries, ESN Belgium again. It's kind of like a follow-up on what you said before. So the national board right now works as one entity, and that's very nice to see. But it seems very optimistic to me to also expect this in the future boards, where next year maybe board members might have more problems among themselves. And I think that there maybe should be clearer boundaries then written down of like what can be expected of these board members and how they can solve these issues.
Thank you very much for your question. Legally speaking, any decision that we take needs to be voted on by the national board. So we usually always include the national coordinators. But in the statutes and legally wise, we have to take a decision all together. So that kind of forces us to work as an entity, even if we don't get along. The final decision cannot be taken by one person. It needs, we're very legally wise, to be taken by the whole board. And if I was to take a decision that could have a big impact without informing the others, I could have big problems and be voted out or even be sued if that was going further. So we have the legal protection of that. That's kind of how we work too. But it's always indeed hard if the team is not working along, that might not work as well. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cameron, ESN Belgium, to add on to Noah's response as well. The task descriptions are also part of like the recruitment and showing what the roles are, but to your concern about having clearer boundaries and in case the team doesn't work together well, there's also lots of work that we do as NBNC, like during transition weekend, or we might have like the advisory board is always there to help as well. So the task description isn't the only resource that we have for internal functioning, but it's the most, like, it's really to show what each role is supposed to be.
If there are no more questions, we propose to close the speakers list. Does anyone oppose? No? Great, thank you very much. Moving on to to the next slides.
Okay, so can I have Cameron and Margot be ready? I don't remember which order it is. The first one, that's Margot.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, I thought it was a fourth one. Okay, so the first amendment, the fourth amendment to the SO would be simply about changing the name of FBI. So for the people who don't know what FBI is, it's not only what you already know, I don't know the acronym, but it's not that. It's the Federation of Belgium for Internationalization. Basically, it's the committee of that I'm taking care of, that will be taken care of by the VPs next year if you vote for the restructuration. And it is basically to promote the Belgian network in ESN. So it's to help the NR or like VPG, VPD next year in preparation of VGM or like a newsletter about what is going on at the international level, a lot of different tasks. And we were suggesting on changing the name because the name make it sound like it's only for Belgian people, while actually our network is very international. We have a lot of people that are not Belgians here, and we want them to fit into it as well. And also in order to be a little bit more inclusive, we thought about changing it to be network. Also, so the name actually matched all the other name of the other committees. So that's the main purpose of this amendment.
Okay, so another amendment that we have now, the first amendment to the projects policy paper, is to adapt the way that the timing of the national awards process is phrased. So the national awards are every year, in between BNP2 and BNP3. Sections have a chance to nominate themselves for an award, and then you will vote through a process. And so our projects policy paper currently says that the voting process concludes after the first day of BNP3. If you were there at BNP3 last year, you saw how it was quite like last minute then, because the voting is at the end of the day, but it takes quite some time for the project manager, the person in charge of it, to actually go through, calculate the winners, also prepare the slides, and prepare their certificates. And so I propose to add the phrasing "at the latest." This gives the project manager, the person who's in charge of the national awards, the flexibility to have it closed sooner. Because as it is now, it has to be like it can't close sooner than that. Next amendment to the project policy paper is just a updating it, so it's not changing the content, but in the past we had the cause committees, they were replaced by the projects committee, and when that happened in one place, in a place that still said what the cause committee instead of the projects committee, so it's updating the language to finalize something that already happened, a change that already happened. And yes, here's the other place where we're also proposing, so it's the same amendment in 2 different paragraphs. It has to be replaced. And this is the one.
So this amendment is just adding the new position to the standing orders. So again, if you don't vote that in, we are not voting on the restructuration document. If you vote that in, we are voting on the restructuration document. And whatever you vote for the restructuration document, the new positions are going to be there. The only thing that's going to change is whether they have passed or not. Kind of sense. Is it exactly the same? Oh, it's just the follow-up. No, it's exactly the same. Okay. Amendment 2 to the standing order. So in this document, we just added fee. So first it said that the participation of the national coordinators and the audit body members shall be covered by ESN Belgium, but it's the participation fee. We just want to make that very clear, so it stays on for the future, and that's for the national platforms. Then, ensuring the payment of all NP participation fees. So that's a new amendment. So what it says is that each section is responsible for ensuring that their members have either paid or cancelled their spots by the deadline given by the BNPII. And if a participant fails to pay for this spot to cancel their spot by the deadline given by the BNPII, then the OC is entitled to send the invoice to the section that has to pay it. It's just a safeguard for us at first, because that's your members and you have more contacts with us than us. And it's like, how can I explain that? Sometimes it's really hard to reach to your members that applied, and we want to make sure that it goes through you and that you take care of telling them to cancel or not if they're not coming. That's very important, especially for DOC, because a lot of times we've had people not coming, but that registered and never paid, or that's a big problem. So we want to make sure that it's not a problem on DOC. And when you're going to DOC, you're going to have that problem, and you might want that safeguard. So yes. Then Amendment 1 to the statutes. It's just, it says that in the event of force majeure, the vice president was responsible for the president's task. Now it's divided into the two vice presidents, as it is in the task descriptions. And that's the same thing in Dutch. Amendment 5 to the standing order.
Yes, so currently there is no committee for the education officer, and I wanted to create a committee called BNPII. I created it as an experiment already, and we have 2 members, and it's going quite well. So the point of this committee is to also give the sections, give local volunteers a chance to engage in advocacy, get a better idea of what it is, and get involved in what we're doing at the national level. And so this is very important. This is in the 3rd round, so if you vote the restructuration through, then basically it will be, say that the education and advocacy officer is going to be in charge of it, and if not, then it would just say education officer. So we will still vote on this regardless of whether or not the restructuration is approved, but it's the name of the NC responsible that is proposed that would change. And final amendment to the project policy paper, which only happens if the restructuration is approved, is there are a couple of references to specific NBNC members in the project policy paper, and some of their names are changing or some positions are changing. So it's just updating here from the national event coordinator to the training event coordinator, VP clarifying that it's VPD, and then down here as well, training and event coordinator and education and advocacy officer. So if we vote for restructuration, it has to be that.
Just quickly, you've had that thing too, so I said it in the document if you want to refer back to it. But just so you understand. So we first vote on Amendment 1 to the statutes and standing orders, which are the new positions voted in the legal document. If it's not approved, for the BNPII committee, we vote on version 2, which is with the mention of education officer and not education and advocacy. The task description, we skip the vote, so we don't vote on it because you didn't vote the positions in. And for the project policy paper, the name changes, we don't vote on it either because the new positions are not in, so it's not necessary. And if it's approved, the positions are created from there. And then we vote on the PPP, so the name update, we vote on that. Then we also vote on the BNPII committee, we vote for the version 1 with education and advocacy officer. And then, second and 4, did FBI change to B network or not? And if, so we first gonna vote on whether you want FBI to be changed in B network or not. If it's changed, then we vote on the version 2 of the task description that uses B network. And if it's not changed, then we vote on version 1. It might be a bit complicated, but I swear the more you read it, the more you get acquainted. And that was about it.
now begin the question round. Again, name and section before, and any questions not relevant will be disregarded, but you can still write it down and come ask them later.
Hi, Chris, ESN Belgium. This is a question for Cameron mainly. So for the BNPII committee, as my understanding is right now it's on a trial basis before we actually voted in, but I was wondering how is it actually doing and what are the results that you're actually getting from this committee? And if it's by then also worth actually voting this in.
Cameron, ESN Belgium, thank you for your question. So we've had 2 meetings so far, and we're still shaping it together as well. If you see Benjamin from the OC, you could also ask him his opinion. He is in the committee. So far, our first meeting, we were mostly talking about like what do we want the committee to look like, what do we want to do during our meetings. Then during our last meeting, we decided that I'm going to give little presentations during each of our meetings about different education topics. Dries and Jonah also both, so our 2 committee members both went to a conference already. And I'll tell you more about that in education updates. And yeah, we haven't accomplished that many tasks yet, but because we started like a month ago. And yeah, they're going to be helping out with a couple of projects, so National Education Week, with potentially some ESN survey. And yeah, I think the best thing for me would be if you see Benjamin, if you're curious, to ask him what his experience of it is. But yeah.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. So right now we're voting on it, but it doesn't seem that there is that much of an actual set structure for the committee. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it is similar to the other committees in that it's up to the person who's in charge of it, how it works each year. I think the only one with a very clear structure defined is the project committee, because it's defined in the project policy paper. But the other ones, it's kind of on a year-by-year basis. So the purpose of voting on it is to make it easier for the future for the next education advocacy officer or education officer to create this committee. And then depending on the year, what the interest of the members are, what kind of tasks they are able to do and want to take on, they can work on, the same way that the BCom committee is supporting the communication manager, B project is supporting the project manager. It depends what's going on a year-by-year basis.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Is the whole conditional voting clear to all of you? Or did you just not read through it and kind of rock it at that time? Now is it clear? This is very important because it's your vote in the end and it's your voice.
Is anyone writing a question at the moment?
Arnaud, ESN Liège. For the amendment that you were suggesting about participant fee, you do not talk about international guests or NBNC. What happens in the case they do not pay? Like which session will be shared off?
Okay, thank you very much for that. Just for information, so because it's written NBNC, but NB, so national board members are covered by the events, so we don't pay for them. For national coordinators, it would be ESN Belgium, but it's already how it is, because ESN Belgium is paying for them, so they're not invoiced personally. It's always ESN Belgium paying. And I mean, it's our GA, so we would pay for it, I hope. For international guests, I don't think we can do much because they're not part of our network, so we cannot impose it to be taken on by their section or their NO. We can always try, and we would try to do that, but there is no guarantee, and we have no power to put it in our legal documents, sadly. But very good question, thank you. Jessy, maybe you want to add something? Okay, good.
Yes, just to add on that, international guests, Jessy ESN Belgium, I'm not taking the minutes, I'm speaking. It's still easier to run after like 4 or 5 international guests than like 15 participants.
Anybody writing a question, put your hand up. Okay. Now I'll close the speakers list.
And the speakers list is going to be closed. Does anyone oppose? No. Once again, you can sort of come and ask questions later, and now we will be moving on.
Hello again. So these are the budget updates. Can I have the clicker to move the slide?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, to make it a bit clearer, I used Excel, and you're gonna see the screenshots after, but the numbers that you see for the updates are in this color code. So for black, there's no effect, meaning that it's money in, money out. Blue, it's uncertain, or we don't know what will happen yet. For red, it's lost, obviously, and then for green, it's gain or no expected loss. As for the timing and the procedure that I use to make the budget updates, it runs until the 22nd of February, which is when I did the last bookkeeping. And the math that I did was based on the report that I extracted from Assist, which is our accounting system. And then I also looked at the expected future transactions that we're gonna have. For example, invoices that we've not collected yet, or reimbursements that have to be finished, etc. Okay, so this is on the income side, where you don't see any numbers because, yeah, there's no effect for now. So yeah, for the membership fee, we collected until now that amount. We have 1,606 from this year, but there's an additional 143 from the previous year. There was a section that was struggling. We covered for them, they reimbursed us. For the ESN card order, that's the number that we have until now. Yeah, at the moment of the last bookkeeping for the autumn order, it wasn't fully collected. But in total, we had a bigger ESN card order than we expected for autumn, so it puts us in the green. For merchandising, that includes the flag order, which is money in, money out, and also the MBNC merch, minus the 150 that we got from Eurosender. So if we put our logo on the MBNC merch, we got 150, well, sponsored by them. Then for BNPII, as you remember, most needed our help. So all the payments were collected by us. This is what we collected from participation fees and all the transactions related to that. Again, no effect because it's money in, money out. Whatever was profit was sent to ESN as agreed in the contract. What's next? For the national event, MD attendance deposit, it was all collected. Again, money in, money out. Well, theoretically, practically, if you miss an MP, we get money. For a national event, we collected around 5,000 from participation fees. We also invoiced Drink More Water for a sponsorship of 500 euros, and that's the total that we got. Why is it such a big difference? Is because when I made the initial calculation, I took more participants and a bigger participation fee. So of course the number was going to be bigger. And then for EGM Hostel, that's what we collected, 5,064. We had a section who didn't pay at the moment of the last bookkeeping, so that's why, we have that 146 that we expect. Also, you're gonna see that there is a difference on the expenditure side, but we're gonna get to that later. Okay, for partners and sponsorship, this is what we collected until now, so 2,240. Why is it in blue? There's still some contracts that need to be either renewed or some communication is still ongoing, so we don't know what's going to happen. For OLS, I think you remember from the budget proposal that they had to renew their tender. We still don't have an update on that, so until now we only have the 1,300 and something. For the student opportunity, I invoiced them for 315. That was paid. I invoiced them for 308 as well. That's to be collected. No effect because it's money that we pay the students that do the student opportunity. So it's money in, money out. Yes, strips. I can already say that we're gonna be in the green because I invoiced them for the Prague trip and for our fixed semester fee, which already brings us to 920. Almost what we estimated. Things days coming, we're gonna get money from that. So it puts us in the green. VVS, we still don't know how the money is gonna go. We have no update, so there's no sum on that. For swap fees, we already received the 400 from the first semester. I invoiced them for the second semester, so we're gonna get that money. We're in the green. Euro Center, like I said, we got 150 for the merch. I invoiced them for 48 euros in commissions. Also, we have a partnership at international level with Eurocenter, and we got an email from that saying that we need to invoice ESN International from some extra money for commissions, so we're gonna be getting more money from that. But again, I still don't know how much, and it was before I did my, it was after I did my report, so yeah, still a bit uncertain. And for the 1,200, you already knew that we were going to invest that in the national trip to make participation fees lower. Okay, now for the expenditure side, membership fee, like I said, I expect to collect all of them and send them to ESN International. For BNPII, we spent how much we said we were going to spend. Expenses are reimbursed to ESN, most, like I said, money in, money out. As for BNPII, we spent less because we found some sleeping arrangements for us, so accommodation is not included in the FC participation fees, and Josephine is not here, our main auditor. So we decided to reinvest the money for the participation fees of VVS, well, up to 75, because they're very important. MBNC and other transportation costs, this is what we spent until now. We don't expect to spend more. Like I said, for the NP attendance deposit, we expect up to date to gain 60, so someone is not going to get their NP deposit reimbursed fully. Again, this is what we spent for the transportation, that was for the action plan meeting. That's what we spent for the first team building, but we're planning the second one, so that's going to be exciting. Transition week is not happening yet. As for the national event, you can see the math over there. There was a bit of a loss 25, 26 euros, not fatal, still not nice. Representation in the network, that was fee going to a conference with BBS or something related to BBS. EGM hostel, that's the total invoice price. Like I said, this is bigger because it also includes the sleeping spots for MBNC. Didn't have the time to figure it out yet. So I just put the total invoice price there. We have the money to pay for it, so that's okay. For international events, this is how much we spent. We were a bit in the red for GA, but green in web got covered, overall green. ESN cards, like I said, bigger autumn order, so it's gonna put us in the green. Of course, we're gonna spend more because the order is bigger, but still, that's profit for us. Merchandising costs, it's what we had on the income side, and plus the 150 from the Euro Center. OLS to the opportunity, this is how much we spent until now. Again, money in, money out. Doesn't make a difference. Yeah, legal service for that, it's as we expected. We spent a bit more on publication costs. It's something that we cannot control. And bank costs, it's the fee that we pay for the management of the card to the bank. We expect to be in the green for that too, so we don't expect to spend more. And yeah, overall we're doing fine.
And as you know, the questions are now open.
There's the question that you turn it on?
Okay, you better have questions for that because we're talking about money and this is very important and usually it's what's getting you startled, so we count on you to ask money because if you don't ask money in maybe 2 or 3 years we're going to end up with a giant situation again. So just make sure every time there's talking about money, everything is understood, everything is clear, everything is displayed to you. This is just very, very, very important, especially in our context. So thank you. Unless everything was very clear and you understood everything and Adelina did an amazing job, of course.
Jessy said put your name and sections on the Slido, so please do that. Who's the one here? Okay.
Yes, Richard is in the Netherlands. For someone that doesn't have any context of what OLS and PBS is, could you please explain what that is?
Yeah, so OLS is language center from what I know, right? Yeah, and they offer these student opportunities. They do like testing, usability testing for them online, and they get paid. And they just make us pay the students. Like we invoice them for the money comes through us to the students. Because we have more direct contact with the students and it's better for them because we reach more students. Yes. And as for BBS, it's the Flemish Student Union that we're going to have the conference with that we've been talking about. And you're going to see more of that tomorrow, right? I cannot pronounce that. Vlaamse Vereniging something van students. Clear? Okay. Next.
Hello, ESN Glen. You said we are in the green right now. Can you tell us how much, or at least how much of a change from the previous budget we are right now?
I don't have the numbers memorized, but I can pull out the assist and do the calculations. But like I said, it's more of an overview. Overall, it's in the green. We didn't fatally lose.
Just also maybe I will comment. So for this budget explanation, we stopped at a point in time, and since then we did payments and stuff. So from what we did then and now, how much we're in the green or whatever have already changed. and it's changing a lot because we had a lot of reimbursements and money coming in and out, but we needed to stop it at one time. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Adelina to do the accounting. But it's just to explain that the actual number is already a bit different than that.
Also because we have an internal deadline for these presentations, so there's not much I can do about that. I need to be on time. But I can just say, like yesterday we were talking about who hasn't paid the ESN card order yet. As we're speaking, e-check paid. So, you know, it fluctuates.
The exhibiting years in Germany, treasurer, I know that last year had some financial problems. Do you have savings for a situation in which the income surprisingly doesn't or can't cover costs anymore?
We have the buffer, so that's what we would use. Ideally not, but if anything happens, there's a buffer. So question for Noah, just a second. Do you want to know how much we have on the bank account? I'm going out the app now. Okay, so at the moment we have 47,651.60. So, yeah.
Shariman, ESN Belgium. My question is that you showed some revenue that you gained from partners, for example, Softbeats, maybe 400 euros last semester. I wanted to ask if this revenue is like we invest them as part of the partnership deal, or is it a sponsorship that you provide?
Just both. Because we also promote them.
Okay.
We promote them, that's the service we offer on our socials, and then they give us what we agree in the contract.
Increase ESN Belgium. So there are a lot of green numbers on the budget, which is amazing, of course, with a lot of income coming. My question is, are we still expecting many expenses, or we're expecting things where we will make a loss this semester still?
It's only international events that could potentially, because you have the flights costs, you have stuff that you can't really foresee beforehand. But apart from that, none that I can think of right now.
Thank you.
Anyone typing any more questions? Raise your hand.
The exhibiting years in Germany, treasurer. Do you expect in the near future changes in the income generated through ESN cards, through like some seniors amendments, through ESN International, like the limited validity of ESN cards?
Oh my God, you're spoiling all the fun. No one knows about it yet. It's not something that I looked into yet, but potentially scare the sections because we asked them previously to make stock because it scared them from making stock anymore. But at the same time, could also be an improvement because they're gonna order regularly due to the expiration date. So I guess it could go both ways.
If there are no more questions, I propose we close the speaker list. Anyone opposes? No. Thank you.
The division for the next thing, and then OC is going to come to do the announcement for the lunch, and then we're all going to be able to go. Glen, just like it's not needed. So, can you pull up the agenda actually, Glen, on the screen? Thank you. So as you see, after lunch, we have the build and shape track. So So what we are going to do is we're going to organize the division now. So after lunch, you can go to the right place. We're going to wait on OC to see which other room we can use. But how it goes. So we have the shape and the build track. We didn't want to do advanced and newbie again because we were at BNPII. But how it's divided is the build track. You can see it as us giving you knowledge that is going to build your knowledge or whatever. It sounded better in my head when I created the names. But it's just more us giving you knowledge that you can use in your section, but also in your daily life. So very important knowledge. While the shape track is going to be more about us together discussing and shaping the future of ESN Belgium. So it's kind of like that, but we have certain conditions. So we want to make sure that if you're more than one person, so if you're 2 or more, you have at least one person in each track. Why? Because we want all the sections to get all the information and be represented. This is very important. So if you're like 10, I'm thinking of ULB, for example, try to not be 9 in one and 1 in the other. Try to divide equally or based on interests. So you should join the topics that interest you more, of course. But in the shape track, we're going to discuss and need your inputs a lot. So if you go there, but you don't care about the code of conduct, you don't care about VZV and de facto association, then just don't come, because we are going to discuss and we need your inputs too. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting there and do nothing, and it's not the whole purpose of this weekend. And we reserve the right to remove someone from a room and move it to the other room in case you see that happen. So if you come into the code of conduct presentation, but you don't care, you don't listen, you don't participate, then we're going to send you back in here, so we are sure you are actually gaining something out of the presentation. You can switch between the build and shape track, but only during coffee break, not before or after. So if you're more interested before coffee break in the shape track, but after the build track, you can switch. But just make sure that you always have someone from your section in each piece. And yes, I can maybe quickly go into the, can you click on the shape track? So we can quickly go over what's there. So the first part is going to be the revision of the point system. Just so you know, this is not going to be a fight for points. This is really going to be a constructive discussion, and we really insist on it. So if you're not ready for it, don't go. Then we're going to discuss the code of conduct, the changes we kind of want to propose, and how a code of conduct is supposed to be, what you're expecting from it. Then after coffee break, we're going to discuss the section reports. So that's the forms that you all filled in. So we made graphs, we concluded things, and we're going to discuss all of that and see how we can improve the sections. And then we're going to go into VZV and de facto associations. So the main difference into which, the two options, which one should section choose, and what kind of problem you face in the current legal registration you're in. So for presidents, this might be a very good session because you've all asked me a lot of questions about that and had a lot of problems in the past 2 years, so very important. And can you quickly go in the build track? So the build track, we're going to talk about how to promote an event, how to do it right, how to attract people, how to make it fun, how to make sure you have a lot of participants. Right after that, we're going to discuss event sponsorship. So, okay, I have to go fast. Event sponsorship, so how to quickly, how to get partners for events specifically and not just general partners, how to pitch, how to deliver. This is a really good presentation. Then we're going to go into GDPR basics, all the bad things that you're doing and that you need to stop, and the dangers of that. Then we're going to talk about education updates, so all the new things that are happening right now. And after the coffee break, we're going to analyze together if ESN has a real impact or if we are only doing greenwashing. That's going to be very interesting, a lot of tools to avoid doing it. Then we're going to talk about the VIM because it's still important, and we have a lot of mistakes in the presentation that all of your section made. Hi, ULB. And then we're going to talk about funding for international events, so how you can ask your IROs for funders. So yes, that's it for me. OC, do you have an announcement?
Okay, so if I'm correct, you have the workshops afternoon.
For those who want to find the workshop rooms,
You tap on it and it works again.
I can also just stand here. Is this one doing better? Okay. So, the workshop rooms, they are when you go back where you entered from, and that building, like the block separated from the other buildings, the one you passed by, that's the workshop room block. On the first floor, you can find the 3 workshop rooms. We also have a room, a silent room, for people who want to pray or because of Ramadan want to be alone for a moment. We have that one. It's farther away, it's in the F block. We also made arrows to the F block to the room, so if you can't find it, you can go to the people of the OC. But that's also on the ground floor in the F block. Then for lunch, if you need gluten-free or you are lactose intolerant, just speak to the OC because we have everything prepared, but we just need to take it from the back sometimes, so tell us. And then for everyone, pay close attention, go to the toilet, wash your hands well because we're going to assemble sandwiches, and we don't want people with dirty hands touching cheese and such. Please go and wash your hands first and then come to the lunch area. We have 3 sandwiches per person, so just make one, go sit at the table with friends, eat it, and then come and make for another one, and you can come 3 times and we'll see if there's leftover. Okay, so you know how much, you know where to go. The lunch area is in a small cafeteria here, but you'll see it anyway, you pass by if you walk to the toilet.
Should you say that people should be cautious when they see gluten-free stuff like for a coffee break because that's just this big.
Also, gluten-free and lactose intolerant things are limited, so don't take them if you don't need them. Okay, see you at lunch.
You have 1 hour for lunch, and then please get straight to your truck so that we don't lose time. Thank you and bon appetit.
Good job. The build track is going to be here in this room, so if you go to the build track, you can leave your stuff here. The shape track is going to be in one of the other rooms, so you can take them now or put them later, whatever. But build is here.
Ik weet niet of het beste is dat je dat ding probeert af te sluiten.
Ik wil dat echt niet afzetten.
Maar voor straks is het van slaapstand, dat is het probleem mee aan. Is dat ding in slaapstand? Ja, we kunnen hier ook niet proberen, weet je. Straks gaan we zien wat we kunnen.
Dat is een compliqué, dus.
Ik weet niet of ik dat uitgezet heb of niet.
We zien wel of het straks nog werk aanschaffen willen aan het lokaal.
Ik ga die PC gewoon aanhouden. Hallo meneer Glen. Zet hij erop? Nee. Ja, ik ga naar shape track doen. Ik ga die PC even in never go to sleep mode zetten. Leuk is dat? Ja, dat vind ik even leuk. Ja, dat is hier wacht. Wat staat er hier?
You already made it. Don't forget your bag. Amen. Is it possible to make sure that you get the first 2 workshop of shape and then go back to the building? Sure. Just know what the organization.
Van de elke goed weet. Wat is het?
Glen. Checkpoints as well.
Hoe is dat?
Time is not updating in the